Hello, I just want to briefly go through the audio signal routing options and setting the levels in an Alesis MultiMix 4 USB 4-channel USB mixer. So the device is 4 analog input channels, 2 microphone channels here with balanced inputs on XLR connectors or line level inputs, and a stereo pair of line level inputs here, and also a USB audio interface built in. So instead of having a tape loop, tape in and tape out connected to line out and line in the computer, I've got a USB recording and playback interface built in to the device here. So I just use a single connection USB connector to the computer, plus power for the mixer as well. It's not fully USB powered, but plugging this USB cable into the computer, Windows will just detect this as a generic USB audio codec device and quickly install drivers. You'll see dialog boxes that look a little bit like this, installing device driver software, and then your device is ready to use. And then after that's all ready, coming down to your playback devices and recording devices, you'll see a new speaker device, USB audio codec in the playback devices, and a new microphone device, USB audio codec microphone device in the recording devices. And you can see that the microphone has a variety of recording options, 1 or 2 channel, all 16-bit, and the usual sample rates up to 48 kilohertz. What's important to set is the microphone recording volume. Now I've got this set to 53. Setting it lower than 53, if you've got a very hot signal coming in, lower than 53 will just scale that signal down, so it will still be clipped, but just recorded at a lower level. Higher than 53, it's just software scaling the signal up again, so if you've got a very quiet signal, you'll just be boosting the noise in software as well. One good way to choose the correct level here very quickly is just to run Gold Wave, which I've got running here, and you can open up the properties, control properties panel, choose the device tab, make sure you've got your USB audio codec device selected, and you can see that as well as giving me the same slider or a different representation of the same slider as we saw before, you can actually very quickly just choose 100% there and apply that, and then back in the Windows audio properties we can just see that the Goldwave has set the level now to 53, and that's exactly unity gain for Windows. So I would recommend setting your microphone properties and leaving it exactly where it is. And if you're using a VoIP application like Skype that has an option to adjust the microphone volume, I would try and make sure that's turned off as well. But if you just remember that in Windows 8 at least 53, 54 is the unity gain value. If you're running this on Windows 7, the correct level to set the input gain, that was in the recording properties here. On Windows 7, the gain that I needed to set was, instead of being up at 53, 54, I needed to bring that down to 3 or 4. Again, you can use Goldwave to set that quickly, and once you have got that set, just leave the value in place. The playback device I always leave to 100, but if you wanted to play back sound from Windows, maybe from Media Player, and you wanted that to be at a lower level in the mix coming from the main outputs in the mixer, you could slide that down, or just adjust the volume in whatever music player you're using on Windows. So that's it for the software and USB setup side. Once you've got the level set in Windows, you've got the analog connections in here. So in channel 1 here I've got an XLR microphone input that's phantom powered. I'm using a condenser microphone, so I've got the phantom power button is right down here. The red LED indicates that the phantom power's on, and that's on to channel 1 and channel 2. They're not independent, they're either on or off in both channels at the same time. The phantom power has no relevance to the line inputs, so these are both mono 6.35mm jack inputs. Underneath that is a little pot for setting the gain. Now, the gain is only relevant to the microphone preamp, to the XLR connection. And look down at the bottom of the mixer, you can see a little red LED. Now, that's the LED that lights up if the mic input is clipping. So the way to set that is to just talk into the microphone and then turn down the gain until that light just goes off. And I've got mine set at about the 1 o'clock position here. Below that then you've just got the mixer, high frequency and low frequency EQ, and a pan to pan left and right, and below that the channel level that sets the level of the input in the mix to the main outputs. Channel 2, very much the same as channel 1 but without the high impedance option. Channel 3, channel 4 are combined into a stereo pair, no EQ for those channels. And that's it for inputs. For output, you've got headphone monitor option, and that's independent of the main volume output pot. The main volume control doesn't affect the levels sent to the recording device in Windows. Those levels are set by the level controls on the mixer. So remember that the level LEDs also are showing the output levels of the analog outputs, and they don't show the recording levels at the computer either. So you'll need to use the volume level meter in your recording software. So this software is Audacity, and I can just start a recording and the input level monitoring will start. Or I think in Audacity you can just click on that meter, and I would aim to record with peaks at about -12 decibels away from full scale, so -12 dB FS, or certainly less than -6, and that means that my recording will give me a wave that's quiet enough to avoid clipping if I suddenly get animated and start talking louder, or if I want to mix that recording in with other sounds or use effects on that recording. Don't adjust the level controls in software, either in the recording software or in Windows. But use the level controls on the mixer, and also remember that although -12 dB FS has given you enough headroom to play with for any mixing and effects, it's going to sound a little bit quiet in a final production, so you'll need to scale that up if you're going to use that in, for example, a Camtasia screen capture, and I've used a little bit of scaling and a compression effect in this particular recording. The sound being played back from Windows through USB is not mixed back in to the recording device in Windows. If you wanted to do that, you'd have to use a loopback cable, like a patch cord, and just patch your main outputs back into line in. So that's it. That's setting levels through the Alesis MultiMix 4 USB 4-channel mixer. I hope that was interesting, and thanks for watching.